How's it? This is Mark Heil, and today in Excel, we're going to do one of the most practical things you may use. Um, in science class and math class, sometimes teachers, especially professors in college, they'll ask you to graph certain things. And it's also good for business and in marketing and a lot of other degrees, just to show data. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, in A1, go ahead and put your name, and A2, go ahead and put a nickname for your type of career that you're going into, like your Me 2.0 name. A3, the type of career that you may go into. And in A5, we're going to pose a question. So my question is, for me in my career, um, what type of photography do you appreciate the most? Just think of some question that's related to your career that you would like to know the opinion of other people. Okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to ask everyone in the class to go and put their vote or opinion. But first, let's format our question. So we're going to bold our question so it's easy to see, okay? And then go ahead and we're going to shade it. To shade it, make sure you have your palette and then go to your shading and you can choose the color for your shading. Now look what happens when you shade A1, okay? Notice it only shades A1 and not the entire question. So what you're going to do is highlight A1 and then you're going to have four answer choices for your question. And don't put other, it has to be like real popular answer choices. So once you do that, highlight the cells that it spans across. And if your question spans way too far off these people, nature, city, photo, go ahead and reduce the size, okay? Um, you can reduce the size so it's a little bit smaller. So after your cells are highlighted, go on your palette, which is right here, and click on Merge Cells. And basically it'll combine all those cells into one, okay, and then make it smaller. Now, go ahead and bold your answer choices and put names because we're going to have a list of names right here. And we're going to insert a column right here. And so we're going to put 1, 2, 3, and so on to number our people. So just go ahead and number up to about 24 just for now, even though you may not get that many. And you're going to go first. So if your name is Kevin, you're going to put Kevin and you're going to put what you like. And you're going to put the number 1. That signifies your vote. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and if you highlight C through F, okay, you can rearrange your columns to fit a little bit nicer. So it's about even. And notice it right aligned my number. We don't want that right aligned. We want it centered. But not just this number, but all the numbers entered. So go ahead and highlight all of this content. And Command E is center. So go ahead and center that. And let's go ahead and change it to a different color. And you can choose the color that you would like. Okay? And you can also choose a different font if you'd like as well. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to choose so, and then Kevin, go ahead and highlight where the names will go, and we're going to change those colors as well, so it's very easy to identify the difference in that. And also, we can shade it gray. So, go ahead and shade that. Shade that gray. Okay, so now you're ready for people to vote. So follow the instructions. If there's no one in the class, you can do this at home. Then call up your buddies and ask them if they're all sleeping, you can't get a hold of them. Try to guess what their opinions would be. Okay, so let's say I went ahead and polled these people. So there we go. I'm going to format this right here. So let's say you only got 19. Okay, that's still a lot. So let me go ahead and delete the others. Okay, and notice when I scroll down, if I want to see what Billy has, I can't really see my header anymore, like my titles. So we're gonna freeze the frame. Okay, what that means is highlight row 6, and you're gonna go to Window, and you're gonna choose Freeze Panes. Okay, Now when you freeze panes, notice that it went above the question. So I did it wrong. So what you're going to do is highlight 7 and go to window, and first you have to unfreeze panes so it gets rid of it. Then you go to 7 and you go to freeze panes, and now it freezes. So if you scroll down, you can still see the titles. Now let's get our totals, okay? To get our totals, what we're going to do is type totals right here, and you're going to go to auto sum, and we're going to choose sum, and go ahead and highlight all of the numbers here and hit enter, and you get 5. Now we can just drag and copy the equation over to the right, and so there we go with our totals, and we can go ahead and bold those, and let's put a line below signifying that it's like the end. So you can do borders and then type of border and thick bottom border, and so we got our totals. Okay, so now we're going to graph our totals. To graph our totals, we're going to highlight our the headers or our answer choices, hold down Command on a Mac, and hold down your answers or the totals, and then we're going to go to Insert, and we're going to go to Chart. Now for Insert Chart, there's a lot of different options. We're going to use column, okay, and we're going to choose more of a, actually you can choose any column one you want. You can choose. For me, I'm just going to choose this one. Okay. So go ahead and put your chart to the right of your data. Okay. So now notice we have our chart. Actually, I'm just going to put it on top for now, so we can see that a little bit better. So for our chart, notice nature has the most. Now we want to clearly show that nature was the best. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it a little bit better. Now, so find the column that had the most, click it once, notice they're all selected with the blue square dots. Click it one more time to select a specific column, and then double click on it, and you'll only select that one. And then we're going to fill it, and we're going to fill it with a picture. Now, this is nature, so go ahead and find a picture that would best exemplify that column. I'm going to go to my website and look at some of the photos I took. I'm going to go to this sunsets view, and I'm going to take a screenshot and try to get a screenshot or a picture and make a column so it fits a little bit better in that. Okay, so I go back here, choose picture. I'm going to choose desktop in the screenshot that I just took, and I'm going to insert, and then I'm going to hit OK. So now notice that it's selected. So notice on the side here we have a scale, and notice it goes by ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 8. We can actually change that. If you control click on the line going vertical, you can click Format Axis, and in our Format Axis we can go to Scale, and for our major unit, instead of going by ones, let's go by twos, okay? And then for our maximum, let's make sure that's our maximum number that we had. So if your maximum number was 8, keep it 8. If not, give it lower. And then our minimum is 0. Okay. And then we're going to go to our numbers, and we can check to see if our numbers are fine. And yep, that's right. If it was currency, we could change that. You can also change the font and the shadows and fills. So there's a lot of things we can do for this right here on the left for our axis. Okay, so when you're done, just go ahead and hit OK. And then with our graph, you'll see this key on the side. Now you don't really need this key because look, there's a key right here. It's pretty simple to see. So we can just click on the key and hit delete, and then it's gone. Okay, let's go ahead and format the background of our graph. Control click on what this is called a wall. Okay, you can hit format walls, and then what you can do is you can fill it. So let's go ahead and fill it with a radial gradient, and you can choose the colors to fit your theme and your style. Um, and you can choose where to start your gradient. Okay, if you wanted a picture, you could do that, or a texture, but let's choose a style of gradient you choose. You can also choose your line colors, so go ahead and change your line colors so it's different. And then if you wanted to rotate it for 3D, you can choose different effects to do that as well. So just hit OK. So now we have our graph, and it's looking pretty good.